What would you do if the person you loved most laughed at the thought of your death? On my 45th birthday, as candles flickered on a cake I'd baked myself, my wife, Clara, tossed out a joke that cut deeper than any knife. "If you died, Daniel," she said, her wine glass glinting in the dim light, "I'd probably not even notice for a week." The room erupted in laughter from our friends, but her words lodged in my chest like shrapnel. That night, as I lay awake, her careless giggle echoed in my mind. By morning, I'd made a decision. I'd make her joke my reality. Clara and I had been married for 20 years. Once, we were the couple everyone envied, shared dreams, late-night talks, stolen kisses in the rain. But time and routine dulled our spark. She buried herself in her career, while I became a ghost in my own home, cooking dinners she barely touched, planning anniversaries she forgot. Her joke wasn't just cruel. It was a mirror reflecting how invisible I'd become. So, I decided to disappear, not to die, but to vanish so completely she'd feel the weight of my absence. The plan was meticulous. I'd spent months saving cash, siphoning small amounts from our joint account. I researched how to erase a digital footprint, how to move unseen in a world obsessed with surveillance. I didn't want to hurt Clara, not physically. I wanted her to live with the void, to question what she'd taken for granted. On a chilly October morning, 3 weeks after my birthday, I left. No note, no warning. I packed a single bag, drove to a bus station 2 towns over, and bought a ticket to nowhere under a name I'd invented. Daniel Harper ceased to exist. The first weeks were the hardest. I holed up in a small coastal town, working odd jobs for cash-fixing boats, cleaning docks. The salty air stung my lungs, but it felt alive, raw. I wondered if Clara had noticed yet. Did she call my name in our empty house? Did she check my office, my favorite coffee shop? I imagined her scrolling through her phone, dismissing my absence as another of my quiet phases. But days turned to weeks, and I stayed gone. Back home, I learned later, Clara's world unraveled. She filed a missing persons report after 10 days. Friends rallied, then drifted. The police found no leads because I'd left none. She posted pleas on social media, her words dripping with a desperation I barely recognized. "Daniel, if you're out there, come back. I'm sorry." I read those posts on a burner phone, my heart twisting. Part of me wanted to run back, to hold her, and say it was all a test. But the other part, the part her joke had wounded, kept me rooted. Months passed. I built a new life, small but mine. I rented a room above a diner, befriended a gruff fisherman named Tom who never asked questions. I grew a beard, let my hair gray. I was free, but freedom tasted bitter. I missed Clara, not the distracted, dismissive woman she'd become, but the one who'd once danced with me in our kitchen. I wondered if she missed me, the real me, or just the idea of a husband who filled the silence. 1 year later, I returned. Not to Clara, but to our town, drawn by a pull I couldn't name. I stood outside our house at dusk, hidden by the shadows of an oak tree. The windows glowed, but the curtains were new, the garden overgrown. A man's coat hung by the door. Clara had moved on. My chest ached, not with jealousy, but with clarity. She'd noticed my absence, felt it deeply, but life had filled the gap I'd left. My plan had worked, yet it hollowed me out. I didn't knock. Instead, I left a letter in the mailbox and signed. "I'm alive. I needed to know if you'd care. Now I know. Be happy." I drove away, the town shrinking in my rearview mirror. Clara's joke had sparked my disappearance, but it also set me free. I'd made her live her words, but in doing so, I'd found myself a man who could walk away, who could start again. The human heart is fragile, yet resilient. Clara's carelessness taught me that love, neglected, becomes a ghost. But my absence taught me something greater. We are more than the roles we play in others' lives. I disappeared to prove a point, but I returned to the world to live one. Wherever I go next, I carry that truth, as bright and sharp as a candle's flame.